You stole money from Darren.
What?
You stole money from Darren.
I didn't steal money. Did he tell you that?
Come on, lie to me again. Lie to me again.
I'm your mother. I would not steal money from you. What are you doing? Get off of me.
Welcome back to Night News. Before we start, please like the video for more excellent content.
How does it feel to win such a life-changing sum of money?
Oh, well, I feel a hell of a lot better than yesterday.
She just blew all that money.
Yeah?
Yeah. Where's she been?
I won the lottery. I was the one who won the lottery.
To Leslie. After winning $190,000 in a local lottery, Leslie, a deceitful and unstable drinker from West Texas, squandered the money on drugs and alcohol. 6 years later, Leslie is destitute and stays in motels on the streets. After getting kicked out of a residential hotel, she runs across her estranged 19-year-old son James again. James offers to let her live with him as long as she doesn't drink. Soon later, James's roommate Darren loses money to Leslie. Seeking help, he phones his grandmother and Leslie's friend Nancy after discovering bottles of alcohol under her bed. Leslie is reluctantly allowed to live with Nancy and her boyfriend Dutch, but after she visits the local pub and gets caught the attention of one of their friends, Pete, in the middle of the night, they lock her out. In the morning, Sweeney, one of the motel proprietors, discovers Leslie sleeping outside next to it. He gives her the order to go, and she does so, leaving her suitcase behind. Pete sees her outside a convenience store that evening and buys her some food, but Leslie runs away from him again when he approaches her in a sexual manner. Pretending to be the person who had called in for a job, Sweeney offers Leslie the opportunity to clean rooms in exchange for a small wage and lodging when she returns to the motel in search of her suitcase. Leslie, who Royal has known since he was a small child, is far away from Royal, who owns the motel and works with Sweeney to run it. Leslie routinely skips work, buys alcohol with her money, and goes out to bars with her co-workers. One late night, Leslie wanders intoxicatedly to the house where she reared James, much to the amazement of the family who now lives there. After getting in touch with the homeowners, Sweeney brings Leslie back to the roadhouse. Leslie tells Sweeney she intends to improve, which makes him change his mind about firing her. Sweeney is disappointed with Leslie's lack of commitment. Leslie is suffering from alcohol withdrawal and finds it difficult to focus on her profession and stay sober because she has nowhere else to go. Leslie and Sweeney's common history of addiction leads to their friendship. Leslie goes to a fair with Sweeney, where she meets his grandchildren and daughter. At the fair, Nancy approaches Leslie and accuses her in front of Sweeney of having abandoned James when he was a small child. Later on in the day, she gets into a fight with Sweeney because he won't stop watching the TV news segment about her lottery win on a VHS tape. Leslie, who is clearly drunk, scoffs when the youthful James claims on video that Leslie's desire has always been to open a diner. She walks out of her job at the motel. She phones James from a laundromat and declares her love for him. Following that, she visits her favorite pub, where a younger, more beautiful man tries to flirt with her. Instead of drinking, she orders a shot and a lager. Sweeney, in the meantime, searches for Leslie and finds her at the bar, but she has left. He fights and strikes Pete after he and Nancy make fun of Leslie. Leslie sits in an abandoned ice cream store across the street from the motel, waiting for Sweeney to return from her perch. She informs Sweeney she wants to rebuild the ice cream shop and open a diner when she wakes him up in the morning. He grudgingly offers to help, and that's when they have their first kiss. With help from Sweeney and Royal, Leslie has transformed the building into a diner after 10 months sober. On her first day of business, Leslie had no clients. Nancy arrives at closing time that night, and Leslie accuses her of telling the locals not to go in an attempt to ruin the business's opening. Rather than reacting violently, Nancy apologizes to Leslie for not being emotionally present for the length of Leslie's life and tells her she will never forgive her for leaving her son due to her addiction. Leslie is also surprised when Nancy says that James has gone with her. They hug each other after Royal and Sweeney had made them dinner. On Rotten Tomatoes, reviews from 100 critics have an average rating of 7.6 out of 10, with 93% of them being positive. The website's conclusion reads, "To Leslie's familiar framework is granted extra depth through a stellar Andrea Riseborough and a sensitive and nuanced approach to the cycle of addiction." Based on the reviews of 19 critics, Metacritic calculated a weighted average and awarded the film an 84 out of 100 rating, signifying universal acclaim.